Now, our second keynote speech, titled Health Security in an Archipelagic Nation, Cross-Sector Strategies for Crisis Response and Emergencies Preparedness.
Delivered by Laxma TNI, Dr. R.M. Cahya Nurobi, medical doctor, specialist in orthopedics, subspecializing in hand, upper limb, and microsurgery, Master of Health Science.
His extensive experience in disaster medicine, bioethic, and military health strategy reflect his strong dedication to strengthening health system resilience and preparedness.
Dr. Nurobi was very eager to join us in person, but due to official duties, Dr. Nurobi has kindly joined us virtually through Zoom meeting.
We truly appreciate his presence despite his demanding schedule. Please welcome Dr. Cahya Nurobi.
Thank you, MC. Do my voice is clear now?
Yes.
The Honorable
Yes.
Governor of
Makasih.
Nusa Tenggara Barat, Rector of University of Mataram, Dean of Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences, keynote speakers, and plenary lectures, ladies and gentlemen, all participants. First of all, I'd like to express my sincere gratitude to the committee who already invited me in the 4th International Conference on Global Health and Innovation 2025. Second of all, I'd like to apologize to the committee that cannot being able to come to the conference as I have another activity I have to do in the same day. Today, I would like to present about the health security in archipelagic nations, cross-sector strategies for crisis response and emerging preparedness. I hope the signal is quite good until the last presentation. Next, please. Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Walsh in 2017 has been written in Time magazine that the world is not ready for the next pandemic. Brian Walsh actually is not a doctor, not a politician either. He just analyzed as a senior journalist, analyzing about the current situation which all countries were not prepared to face a pandemic, even the big country like US. Next, please. And after 2 years later, the world's prediction came true, starting from the report of new emerging disease released by WHO about new pneumonia outbreak in Wuhan. The new disease, which then called COVID-19, spread rapidly to more than 200 countries that make COVID-19 as a pandemic. Since then, COVID-19 pandemic becomes a real global biological threat. Next, please. After 3 years of pandemic, right now we take a lesson learned. How is the COVID-19 analyzed from medical intelligence perspective? First of all, there was a transformation of threat as well as transformation of generations of war. Transformation of threat mean from non-biological into biological threat. In the other hand, nowadays, war tends to transform into 4th generation of war, or we call it asymmetric war, and also transform into 5th generation of war, or we call it cyber war. And this transformation will influence later on in the arise of new future threat. In the former slide, I already mentioned that COVID-19 pandemic is a real global biological threat. Why real global biological threat? Because all biological threat before COVID-19 happened is unreal. The next point is, even many countries have been prepared globally and nationally, including Indonesia, but still they cannot resist the COVID-19 pandemic. The next question is, why COVID-19 become a pandemic? Next, please. The answer is because COVID-19 is a new emerging disease. WHO reported 3 to 4 new emerging diseases every year, most of them coming from animal, or we call it zoonosis. The connection between human, animal, and environment are very important to maintain public health. That's why this connection we call One Health. In the early phase of pandemic, the drug of choice of a new emerging disease not yet found. So people try to cure themselves by trial and error method. The new vaccine also occur after about 1 year. So before the vaccine exists, many people affected to COVID-19. Next, please. In these slides, you can see that since 400 BC, there were 9 pandemics occur. However, if we classify these pandemics, they caused only by 4 microorganisms. Those are plagues, influenza, and then HIV, which is still ongoing until now, and the last is coronavirus. If we see the table, we can analyze that influenza pandemic is the most infected. You can see the table that the pink color show the number of infections and the blue color show the number of deaths. Light blue is upper estimate of deaths, meanwhile dark blue is lower estimate of death. H1N1 flu is the most infected, and then followed by Spanish flu. You can see the deadliest pandemic is bubonic plague. About 200 million or 60% of Europe population were killed in that time. How about the COVID-19? We can see that the number of COVID-19 cases compared to other coronavirus pandemics is higher. However, the case fatality rate of COVID-19 is the lowest. This data show that COVID-19 is not the deadliest or the most infected pandemic. Slide, please. Right now, we are friends with COVID-19. The cases have already decreased. Maybe COVID-19 right now become endemic disease. In Indonesia, we still have a homework with endemic disease. Several number of infected diseases like dengue fever, malaria, hepatitis, and TB need a serious attention from our government. Especially now, SDG has targeted the world in 2030 as free from infectious disease. Otherwise, we will have an outbreak as we have experienced in the past. Slide, please. As an archipelagic country, Indonesia is the biggest one. 2/3 part of Indonesia is the sea. For us, the sea is not a barrier, but the sea is a unifier with many natural resources inside. Nowadays, Ministry of Defense has developed a new concept of defense strategy for Indonesia as an archipelagic country. We call it large island defense system, where each large island has its own ability to defend itself. In the COVID-19 pandemic period, the sea fortunately became an inhibitor of COVID-19 to spread out to all Indonesia territory. That's why Java and Bali has the greatest number of COVID-19 compared with other large islands. Next, please. Based on Law number 3, 2025 about TNI, especially in Chapter 7, the main task of TNI is to protect the entire nation from any threats and disturbances to the integrity of the nation. However, as the global situation changed, the threats were transformed into a biological threat. That's why TNI have a role to support Ministry of Health to respond against pandemic or outbreak. Next, please. Right now, modernization and globalization causing a transformations of threat. The revolutions of Industry 4.0 and Revolution Society 5.0 generate the transformation of war into fourth and fifth generations of war, or we call it asymmetric and cyber war. If this kind of war married with biological threat, which exists after COVID-19 pandemic, it becomes a new threat we can see in the red box. We call it bio-cybers and bio-asymmetric threat. Next, please. The bio-asymmetric and bio-cyber threat actually already exists right now. One of the examples of bio-asymmetric threat is the Mailtrax incidents in 2001, when someone has sent a letter with an anthrax powder in the US Capitol Hill or senator office. When the envelope opened, and then the anthrax powder comes out and infected several people in the room. The senator and some people around him have been killed as well. This incident actually was happened 1 week before 9/11 tragedy. So that's why after this incident, US urged to the world for ratifying International Health Regulation or EHR in 2005. That's the example of bio-asymmetric threat. How about the example of bio-cyber threat? When pandemic happened, we know about the news that worries the public in that time about non-halal vaccine. This news actually is a trade war between two vaccine manufacturers. The news affect people not to use one vaccine and change to another vaccine. Another bio-cyber threat, which right now become a current issue, is about a child-free concept. A child-free concept is a concept that someone or a couple do not want to having a child. The outcome of this concept similar with the outcome of LGBT, which is zero growth population. If this is condition combined with the number of mortalities of population, it becomes negative growth populations. One of country which already affected negative growth population is Singapore. So that's why the Prime Minister of Singapore very busy to ask people to having child. But simply these actions not responded well by the community. So no doubt after 30 to 50 years from now, citizens of Singapore will be distinct. They probably just only living in a small area in Singapore, but the rest area will be occupied by foreign people. Next, please. This is a general concept of biowarfare, where biodefense will against biothreat or bioattack or bioterrorism. In the biodefense, there are three components needed, which is biointelligence, who supporting data from daily surveillance. The other components are biosecurity and biosafety. Right now, we are developing these concepts in UNHAN, Universitas Pertahanan, or Republik Indonesia Defense University. Next, please. The other concept that we are developing right now is about civil-military collaborations. In the COVID-19 pandemic, this collaboration has been succeeded to win the war between people and virus. The basic concept of civil-military collaboration actually is a pentahelix concept. A concept of collaborations of 5 elements consists of A, B, C, G, M. A is academy, B is business, C is community, G is government, including TNI, and the last is M is mass media, who reported about what already done by all elements as well as to counter the hoax news. Next, please. In this slide, we can see that the forming of new national institution in this country actually as a response of national tragedy or incident. For example, the forming of National Disaster Agency or BNPB in 2008 is due to the response after Aceh tsunami in 2004. And then the forming of National Contra-Terrorist Agency or BNPT in 2010 is due to a response after Bali bomb in 2002. Yeah. And then the forming of National Cyber Agency or BSSN in 2017 is due to a response after ransom attack in 2017 in the same years. According these experiences, as response after COVID-19 pandemic, it is necessary to form a National Health Security Agency or National Biothreat Agency, which is now still not exist yet. If you say in US, we can see that CDC, but right now in Indonesia, there is no institution similar with CDC. Next, please. This is the scheme of actions lines in the COVID-19 pandemic, where President using 4 coordinator ministers managed the COVID-19 response in that time. However, there were many lacks which have to develop in order to prepare the next pandemic. For instance, there is no independence of drug and vaccine productions. This condition urged the Bio Farma, one of our vaccine manufacturers, to increase ability to produce vaccine. In other hand, the decentralization policy to the local government so counterproductive with central government policy. That's why several provinces rather difficult to run vaccination in their area. The only institution which still have centralizations are TNI and National Police. TNI and National Police become the spearhead of the central government to run vaccination, especially in the remote island as well as mountain area, which is difficult to reach. Next, please. How about the next pandemic? In 2019, there was a health Security Conference in New York. It called Event 201. In this conference, there is a tabletop exercise of pandemic due to CAPS or coronavirus acute pulmonary syndrome, which is actually not exist. However, in the last of 2019, the simulation then becomes real. The coronavirus acute pulmonary syndrome become exist and become real pandemic. Now we have a question. Was COVID-19 prepared on purpose? In other hand, in 2022, there was another health security conference in Brussels. They also conduct a simulation of pandemic due to a new virus they call SEERS or SEERS or Severe Enterovirus Epidemic Respiration Syndrome. The next question is this SEERS is become the next pandemic? Similar with Bart Simpson's story, I think. He has been accused for many years being predicted the 9/11 tragedy long time before. But in other side, actually, there was a terrorist who saw the story and copied the story for their scenario for the next action. Next, please. Now we go to the conclusions. The first conclusion, Indonesia is vulnerable to pandemics and endemics. As I mentioned in the former slide, threats are transforming right now into biological threats after COVID-19. And then be alert for the next pandemics, that because new emerging disease can be become another re-emerging disease with new variants. The COVID-19 pandemics is a lesson learned for better preparedness in facing future pandemic. The relationship between the TNI and the ministries and national institutions is a manifestation of civil-military collaboration in accordance with the Pentahelix concept, which is ABCGM, academic, business, community, government, and mass media. A special agency for biological threat management is needed. And the last, the capabilities of the TNI cyber unit, chemical, biology, radiation, and nuclear unit, and the TNI BSL lab, biosecurity level lab, need to improve. That's all my presentation. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Nurobi, for your insightful presentation.